on?
We're good.
All right. So first of all, thank you guys so much for calling in or listening to this recording. This team is absolutely awesome, you guys. And I'm sitting here looking at these ladies, these four ladies who have become like sisters to me. They have actually just been the most amazing support that I could ask for, especially here lately as we've just grown more and more and more as a team and as a family together. So if you were invited to this call, then that is an absolute honor, because this team is like a family. This team is there for each other. These ladies got your back. We absolutely love what we do, and we love doing this together. And the fact that we get to enjoy the people that we work with and get to interact with and do these challenge groups with every day, because it's just as much for us and our own health and fitness as it is for anybody else. So thank you again for calling in. And first, I want to just kind of introduce myself, and then I'm going to go down the row and kind of introduce some of these ladies here so that you'll know we're all going to kind of take turns talking to you guys tonight. So bear with us. But my name is Lisa Medina, and I am a 4-star diamond coach. That means nothing to you right now, but maybe one day it will. But most of all, you know what? Here's the deal. I am an Army wife first. Before a coach, before anything else. I am devoted to my husband and then my 3 girls. I have a 15-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old. I have been coaching for 2.5 years now, which kind of blows my mind that it's gone that fast. And I absolutely love what I do, but let me just tell you, I did not seek out coaching. The way that coaching came about in my life, I was actually a group fitness instructor and director for 2 gyms in Georgia where we were stationed at the time. And a friend that I had met at the gym became a Beachbody coach. She asked me if I would join her on her first 10-day challenge. And it wasn't just me. It was me and a group of moms who we would take our kids on a play date after the gym sometimes, go to the park or pick strawberries, whatever. So all of us said yes. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know what I was saying yes to. I just did it to support her. But little did I know that I would fall in love with this little thing called Shakeology, which is kind of ironic because I was very anti, don't drink this, don't drink that, you don't know what's in that, it's not good for you type of person. But during the 10-day challenge, there was a few things that clicked for me. And those things were, 1, the meal plan was awesome. It was great. It was easy to follow. I didn't have to think. I was used to writing plans for people, and I knew what to do, but applying it was another thing. So the accountability on that group that week made me realize, like, oh my gosh, I got to put what I ate, or, you know, they're holding me accountable to this. They're all doing it, you know. So the whole week went so well. And probably about 4 days into the challenge, I woke up and I felt amazing. And I thought, you know what? What's in this shake? I really should probably look at what I'm putting into my body. And I'm just being really real. I did it to support a friend. I didn't look into what was in it. And so I realized, like, holy cow, this stuff is actually incredible. There's nothing like it out there, period. There's a lot of things that says it is, but it's really not. Long story short, from that, my coach talked me into becoming a coach. And I remember looking at her in the eyes and saying, I will sign up to get a discount. I am a discount coach, and don't talk to me about selling. I am not a salesperson. I'm not working out at home. I've been in the gym since I was 17. You ain't getting me to work out to any programs, so don't even talk about it. But I do love Shakeology, so if someone asks, I'll tell them about it. And I remember her looking at me and said, well, how are you going to be a good coach? And I said, well, I'm not. I'm just I'm serious. I just want the discount. I love you, but don't bug me about it. That was my take on coaching. And it wasn't until 3 months later when we got stationed somewhere else. And during that 3 months, I actually started building a team by accident. I was, again, teaching every day, 3 to 4 classes a day sometimes. And I had 5 pounds that, and it doesn't sound like much, but my baby at the time, my 6-year-old, was about 4 years old. And I could not get that weight off, you guys. I was stuck at this place where I was working my butt off, and automatically within that first month, I lost 5 pounds, 13 inches. And so everybody wanted to know, what are you doing different? You've been in here every day. We're taking the same classes from you that we've been taking. What the heck? What are you doing differently? And that's when I just started saying, well, nothing. I'm drinking Shakeology, and I'm in these challenge groups, but nothing. Well, that went from me just kind of telling them about it to having 16 coaches want to sign up right away. However, I still didn't see the vision for myself and what this could be. So after I moved, I had to get another job, and that job kept me really busy. And for the first time in my life, my adult life, and even childhood life, I couldn't go to the gym. Not daily, not even 5 days a week. So what did I do? I did what I said I wouldn't, and I did a challenge with a workout program at home. And I did it with my husband, and I fell in love. It was like one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, these people actually know what they're doing. This is not your old school workout video. They are putting together programs with calendars, with nutrition, like even better than I could do in the gym. This is incredible. And I seen a major change in my body in more than half of the time that I was working out every single day, spending half of my morning all the way to lunchtime in the gym. And it hit me. You know what? I was seeing people succeed all around me. And I thought, you know what? I've missed most of my children's life. I have not got to see them, grow up. I have to always ask if I can get off to go to a field trip. Sometimes I'm told no. Why can't I make this a career? I absolutely became so passionate about it. I loved helping people. And there's nothing like that feeling until I really had to stop and just say, why can't I not do this? Why not me? Why can't I quit my job? And as soon as I wrapped my head around, I could actually take these dreams of being home, doing something that I love, which is helping people with their health and fitness, but do it from home so that I can also be with my family. My husband, like I said, is in the military. He deploys a lot. I hate knowing that both parents are gone for a lot of the time. And you know what? As soon as I wrapped my head around it and I decided that I was going to do it, it happened. And I am glad to say that a year ago, a little over a year ago, I quit my job. I fired my boss, and I was able to start working this full time from home. And it has been not only financially an incredible thing for our family, but just the fact that we get to be together every day. We've traveled more in the last 2 years than we have before, and that was a huge part of my dreams. Even growing up, I've always wanted to travel. There's so many things that we've been able to do because of this business, but most of all, the relationships, these faces that I'm looking at right now, that has been so incredible. To build the relationships, not only with my clients, but with the coaches that I work with daily who are family to me, has been priceless. So that's a little bit in a nutshell, kind of condensed really quickly about my story. But let me just tell you, this girl here, the first girl I'm going to introduce, Alyssa, she actually, I met her at the gym I was working at. And let me just say, you don't have to be a health and fitness professional. And we will touch on that later. That just so happened to be what the deal was for me. But I met her in one of my classes. After one of my classes, I remember she came up to me and started talking to me about her passion. She wanted to be a personal trainer. And we became good friends. And during the process of me, before I left Georgia, where we were at the time, I asked her to join me on my coaching team. And she did, thank God, because she's incredible. And I absolutely love working with her. Right beside her, Amanda. You know what? It's funny because at Summit, we're trying to remember how we became friends. It was through social media, Facebook. I know that. I think I just started following her. She had a clean eating page. The girl was already on it. I followed her for her information. she was passionate about being healthy and taking care of your body from the inside out, and I totally respected that. And I found out she lived right there in the same place, born and raised in the same town that I was. We're both from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Crazy, go figure. And never knew each other, but we connected through this common cause. And I remember thinking, she's going to be an incredible coach, and I need her knowledge for nutrition on my team. So I'm just going to ask. And I probably asked you a few times, but she said yes. And she has been crazy awesome ever since. And then I'm going to let you, Amanda, kind of welcome Lindsay and let, kind of tell how, well, actually, I'll do it real quick and then we'll let Alyssa talk. But Amanda, actually, sorry about that, brought in Lindsay. But Lindsay, and they'll tell you their story, was a challenger first. So I'll let them tell their stories in a minute. But Alyssa, you go ahead, girl. Take the mic.
All right. Hey, guys. Alyssa Ron. I am a diamond coach, and I have been coaching for about 2 years now. And I say that lightly because I was on and off for the first year and a half of my coaching journey. And when I first started, like Lisa says, she invited me to become a coach with her. I was teaching classes, and I've always had a love for fitness. So I was teaching classes, and I was in Georgia. All of my family's in Michigan, and I was helping people around me, but I wasn't helping the people that mattered most, which was my family and my friends back home. And so I really saw this as an opportunity to help those that were thousands of miles away from me. And so I jumped in and, kind of coached on and off. And in between there, my husband got out of the Army, and we moved back home to Michigan, where I ended up opening my own fitness studio. And I let coaching go to the back burner. I was like, that's not what I want to do. How is that going to mix with me having my own studio and doing this? So I just put it on the back burner. And it stayed on the back burner until December of 2013. So just 7 months ago almost, when we ended up moving to Florida, and I got this job. And at first it seemed amazing. They talked it up, and I was really excited about it. And I get into the position, and it's nothing of what they explained to me. I was not making what they told me I was going to be making. I was working so many hours, and I had a boss that was just not a nice person, and I would honestly get anxious going into work every single day. My heart would start to race. I would just want to cry. Like, I really did not like it there. I would come home, and my husband and I wouldn't talk because I was exhausted from the day. I was in a bad mood because of something that my boss did or the people that I had to talk to. And I was just not in a happy place. And I can remember it as clear as day. I was driving home from work, listening to the radio, and, just driving home, and I started crying. Tears just started running down my face. I had had a tough day at work, and I said, this can't be it. I can't do this anymore. And, it honestly, when I say it hit me in the face, it did. It was, Alyssa, what are you doing? You have this awesome opportunity. You love helping people. You love, these groups. And this is the only thing that has kept you, online with your fitness. This is the only thing that has been able to help you maintain your 20-pound weight loss for 2 years, which you've never done before. Why aren't you using this opportunity? And I just remember it, I was just like, yes, this is what I need to do. And I came home, and I told my husband, and I remember getting so angry at him because he had heard this 3 times before. And he was like, yeah, okay, honey. Yep, you're gonna coach now. You're gonna be awesome at it. Okay, if this is what you want to do. He was very supportive, but I could tell he didn't believe me. It was, okay, you're gonna do this for a month, and you're gonna fall off again. It made me so angry. And so I was like, no, I am doing this. I can't deal with my job anymore. So a month later, the coordinator of the business walks in with our manager. They sit down and they say, we are closing your department at the end of this week. We have 3 positions opened. There were 3 of us, 3 employees, so they had 3 positions. You will have to interview for them, and you may get it, you may not. So they gave us 3 days notice that we weren't going to have jobs. And then on top of that, they offered us these positions that they were going to be paying us less than what they should be paying us because they knew that we needed a job. And we wouldn't be able to collect unemployment because they offered us a position. And right then and there, I dug in. Like, I have to do this. I don't ever want to feel that way again. I don't ever want to have my livelihood threatened, my security. How am I going to pay my bills? I never wanted that ever again. It's the worst feeling in the world. A horrible feeling. And I said, you know what, I got to do this. And I ended up getting a job there that I'm actually quitting. Tomorrow is my last day. And I know, it's amazing. Like, I never would have imagined. Like, 6 months ago, I decided, like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to live my life by design. I wanted to know that I could plan my future, that I could, I could control what happened. And I dug in. I was consistent. I'm doing something that I love. I love helping people. And being surrounded by these amazing men and women in our team that are always positive, always uplifting, like, this is what I want. And it's just so amazing to see that in 6 months. By the way, this is 6 months sooner than what I had planned. I said by the end of this year, by the end of 2014, I will be a full-time coach. I will not be working for anyone else ever again. 6 months early. And so I'm just so excited. Just know, you guys, that not everyone starts off strong. Like Lisa said, she was a discount coach. There are some coaches that just go with it. And you're going to hear from Amanda and Lindsay, who are just amazing. But you need to know that there are so many different people with so many different stories, and that you can fit right into that. So I'll pass it off to Amanda.
Awesome. Oh, how do I follow that? That was amazing. I'm so excited. Yeah, my name is Amanda Chessie, and I started out coaching it's been about, I think, almost a year and a half now. And Lisa gave an awesome intro to that. So I remember exactly whenever I was actually doing another network marketing, which I think that's part of the reason why I met you, Lisa. I was doing Wild Tree. And so the business plan wasn't that great for the company. And it got to a point where me and my husband had a talk, and I was going to have to get a job. And at that point, I had my daughter, who was 3 years old, and we wanted another kid. And we always talked that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. It was just something that I really wanted to do. So it tore my heart to think that I was going to have another kid eventually, and I wouldn't be there for anything. My husband's military also. So with his deployments, when he deployed, what was I going to do? I mean, I was with my family at the time. We were stationed around my family, but there's no guarantee that it was going to stay like that. And I'll get in that in a minute. And so what was I going to do whenever he deployed and I was still working? I didn't want her to grow up. There's nothing wrong with being in daycare, but she would have both parents gone, like Lisa was saying, and that was not something that I wanted. So I remember, and at this point, Lisa had asked me a couple times, and I think I turned her down a couple times. But I remember sitting there and having a talk with them, and I was about to cry because it was really the worst thing possible for me as a mother. And I told them, I was like, let me give Beachbody a try. Let me try it. They have an amazing business plan. It's my passion. I already have the like page. It's something that I love doing. Let me give it a try. So I did, and it went off really well. I wouldn't say I have a crazy amazing start. There's amazing stories of what 7-star diamond in a year. I'm not there, but I'm definitely making what I would have made if I had gotten a job. And I'm staying at home, and I can do it from anywhere. So about 3 weeks into my first challenge, because I went straight to being a coach. I didn't even take a challenge before. My first challenge was as a coach. I found out I was pregnant. And I remember Lisa asking me if I was going to continue coaching, and I was like, well, yeah, of course. To me, there's nothing better than being an example of being a fit mother for other people and showing that they can do it, even while they're pregnant. And so, I dug in with it. I made hours. I woke up before my daughter woke up and, read my personal development. I checked in, to my challenge groups. I maybe looked at it about 30 minutes while she napped. And in the evening, I would just check in. It wasn't too much out of my time, but it was a huge payoff. And so from there, about 4 months later, I found out that we were going to be moving to Hawaii. And I was, about 4 or 5 months pregnant at the time, and we were not supposed to be moving anywhere. Like I said, there's no guarantees in the military. And although I tried to plan my babies around deployments, PCSing, moving always got me. So we were given a 2-month notice initially. And during that time, they ended up pushing us back a couple months. But I had to pack our house up. We had to move in with my parents 2 months before we were supposed to hit Hawaii because they're taking all our stuff out of our house. I was pregnant. I was, word doesn't describe how much stress I was going on at the time. But I knew with the Beachbody, I had accountability. It was a lifestyle for me, and it was my constant that I could hang on to. And I knew I had this amazing support group around me of people that were supporting me, were there for anything I needed. And I swear, and I tell everybody, it kept me sane. It was my only sane way of dealing with the stress that was in my life at the time. So fast forward a little bit, I had my son, and then, well, actually, I'm going to reverse a little bit, and this will tell a little bit of how me and Lindsay met. During which I was pregnant, I met Lindsay, was a random person off my fan page who messaged me about doing a challenge, and she was pregnant at the time also. And she did my challenge. Well, she had a challenge pack, so she had it prepared when she had the baby. She was like already prepared. And then, which doesn't surprise me now that I know Lindsay. And so, so she was prepared. As soon as she had a baby, she hit the challenge group with a nutrition until she got the okay from her doctor. And she had this amazing transformation story, amazing. And it's what motivated me. As much as you think when you're a coach that you're motivating others, and it's an amazing thing to motivate and help other people, but in return, you're also getting it. You're getting the motivation. Going through a pregnancy is about emotionally unstable as at least I can get. Your body is changing. You don't really want it to, but it's for a good purpose. And watching her go through her transformation and how amazing and to know that it's still possible, because she's had 2 kids within a very small period of time, and she was my idol. I really looked up to her. So, after that, I had my baby and started had Ian and started my transformation. But about 7 weeks old is when we actually hit Hawaii, and we had to live in a hotel for a month with no kitchen. Didn't know when we were going to get our house. Ended up being about a month and a half after we got there. It was that point that everything was out of my hands. I could not control anything around me. I didn't have a house. We only had 1 car. My husband took it to work. I was in a hotel during the raining season of Hawaii with 2 kids. And like I said before, Beachbody kept me sane. I could control it. I could check in with my challengers. I had contact with other people whenever I knew no one. And this was my way of having kind of the adult conversation that we lack as stay-at-home moms, and especially when you're in new areas. And so I was able to dig in and really talk with my challengers. I still made time managed as far as I would try to wake up before the kids did, get up when my husband did during nap times and stuff like that to get it in. And during this time, because of me really digging in and focusing on that, it's when I actually hit my diamond rank. During a time when most people would think you should be pushing it aside. Whenever you feel like you should push it aside, you really should dig in, because that's when you're going to make the most progress in it. And that's what I did. I dug in because that I could control it. It was the one thing. And with Beachbody, I will say, if you dig in, you will succeed. And I think we're all proof of that. When you just put your mind to it and you have a why big enough, that you will succeed. And I will say too about a why. At first my why was because I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And during that time, it kind of I remember doing a little video because I had pushed away. My husband deployed the year prior, and during that time, I remember him coming home during my his R&R, the 2-week break that they get during deployment, and he was in tears, breaking down on our daughter's 2nd birthday because he knew he wasn't coming back. It was so bad over there that there's no way he's going to make it back. And trying to stay strong for him whenever he was breaking and falling apart, and not knowing the answer. And that feeling of not controlling, because if you can tell from my story already, I like having something to control in the situation as far as knowing what's going to happen. And I could not, I could, as much as I could tell him it was okay, I could not control or even give him any sense, really, as much as I tried comforting him, that it was going to be okay. And so I knew that we have 5 years left in the military, and it's a big honor in our family to retire the whole 20 years. So I knew there was no me telling him, if I make enough, you leave. But I knew if I made enough after he retired, he wouldn't go into government contract work and have to go overseas all over again. So that became my big goal, and probably part of having to move so far away from my family to Hawaii and everything made me dig even deeper in it. Because of all the changes that we have to, with moving and deployments and him feeling the way he felt, that I knew I wanted to really dig in this business and make it work for me. But I think that's the gist of my story. But I'm going to pass it on to Lindsay, an amazing, beautiful person and now, and let her share her story with you. Lindsay?
Okay. Hi, I'm Lindsay Hemmer, and I am also a diamond coach. And like Amanda said, she kind of gave a little bit about my background. I did my first challenge in August of 2013. My son was born July 16th, so he'll be a year next week, which is super exciting. And I was so adamant and so determined because I only have 2, but my sons are 19 months apart. And so I was pregnant by the time my first was a year. But in that year, it was the most humbling experience of my life. I thought that, I've always been able to kind of knock off a few things, run a couple extra miles, get back to whatever I wanted. Not after Conrad. I had about 25, 30 pounds that I never lost. And frankly, it really affected every area of my life because it was a weight that I was carrying. And even though I was carrying it physically, I was carrying it on the inside. And that hurts, and I needed to get rid of it, and I needed to make changes in my life. And I didn't have the first clue how. And I will tell you, these girls that were involved in clean eating and fitness, I wasn't one of them. I thought that if I drank Diet Coke and Monsters that had no calories and baked chips, I was good. I was fine. So I was not a gym rat. I was nothing like that. So I started researching because I was really bound and determined to, after Christian was born, to really hit it hard. And I was going to lose that baby weight and my first baby weight. And I was going to do it no matter what, but I couldn't go to a gym because I'd had really terrible experiences with our gym daycare locally. Again, nothing. I know lots of my girlfriends have awesome experiences. I didn't. And I had to be quick. My husband has gone a lot as well. And it had to be effective. So I came across Amanda's like page, which is why social media is amazing. And she was pregnant in her profile picture. And to this day, I don't know. She looked beautiful, but I don't know what it was that made me message her. That's not really my personality, to just reach out to somebody I didn't know. And I just was like, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. I'll do whatever you say. Ego is out the window. Oh, after I had Conrad, everything changed in terms of that. I didn't know anything, starting from square one. And so I did that challenge and had awesome success. I did T25. I drank Shakeology every day. I was another one that was like, I'll do this for a month, but I don't do shakes. I don't do meal replacements, right? And I started reading a little bit more about it, noticed how I felt, definitely. And come November, I was at a park with, I think Christian was 4 months old or something. And I was with my toddler, and she's like, oh, that's awesome. You just have the one. And I said, oh no, I have a baby at home. He's 4 months. And her jaw hit the floor. And she was like, what are you doing? And I was telling her about it, and I sent her to Amanda's website, and I walked away, and I thought, that felt amazing to be able to share with someone that it's doable, that we can do this, and it can be done at home quickly, and there's not this like monthly charge, of a personal trainer or a gym or anything. And why did I just send her to somebody else's website? I should do this. No offense, Amanda. So I literally drove home and I messaged her that night, and I was like, I think I want to do this. I think I can coach. And so I'll never forget, I had actually been called to go watch a friend's toddler because she went into labor early. So I went over to their house at like 4 a.m. and I thought about it all morning, like, because the toddler was obviously still sleeping. I thought about it all morning. And I finally got on their computer. I'll never forget it. And when I hit enter, I remember thinking, my life will never be the same. It hasn't been the same since Beachbody's come into my life, and it will never be the same from now. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I want that and I don't know if Beachbody is the right fit, but I want everybody in the whole world to have that feeling, that they can do anything that they want. They just have to find the right tools. They have to surround themselves with the right people. And so then I ran my first challenge, and all my girlfriends got in, and they were so supportive. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe. And I was very surprised as well at the monetary gain, because that's not what I got in it for. I really, I thought, hey, if I can get Shakio paid for, and I figured out what I had spent on programs like prior, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like pay myself back, and then I'll be golden. And it just snowballed so fast. I almost like couldn't keep up with it. And so I ran a challenge, and then I wanted to read you something that one of my challengers wrote to me. And this was a big aha moment, because this is when I was like, I will never stop. Like, I will coach until I can't coach anymore, because I want everyone to have the feeling and the success that I've had. And that, hundreds of thousands of people, Beachbody is reaching so many people, and it's because of us. It's because we are willing to sacrifice 30 minutes, an hour of our day, and do things that are out of our comfort zone to get messages like this. And I just want to read you a quick blip. I feel like I have found me, not the old me before I became a mom, not the older me that used to party way too much and had no direction, not the old me that was drowning in self-doubt and emotional instability, not the old sick me that thought I was doomed for life. I'm a brand new me, and I couldn't be happier. What other job do we get to do that? I can't think of one. I don't have one. I've never had it, And so this isn't like a sales pitch. This isn't, we aren't here to rope you in and sign you up. We're just here to share our stories and how this opportunity for next to nothing, in terms of investment wise, because I've owned a business prior, and believe me, this is like, talk about zero overhead and almost nothing for a startup cost, to have those results and to be a part of something so much bigger than yourself. And so that's my story. And who am I passing off to? Lisa?
Yeah, you know what? That was the perfect thing. You guys, we've kind of taken our time just sharing our stories with you guys. And I introduced them the way that I did. And we went down this road so you can see the progression of one small decision I made, not thinking at all that it would create this. And look at the lives that have been changed. Look at the stories that came from that. And you know what? It was exactly these reasons right here, me sitting back and watching each and every one of their lives change, including so many challengers, and not only them, but myself. When I started this, like I said, I thought I started as a discount coach. Since then, it has become so much more than that. I didn't see past that, and I thought the same thing. If I can pay for my shakes, okay, cool, I'll tell a few people. But when I realized that my life will never be the same, it is totally different. And not only mine, but every person that I touch will be affected in some sort of way. I got into health and fitness, one, because my family's health history was horrible and I was terrified to die in my 50s. And I won't go much into that. But two, because when I had gotten to my heaviest after my second daughter and I didn't know who that girl in the mirror was anymore. And it affected my marriage, the way that I mothered, the way that I interacted with friends. It affected everything in my life. And I realized that not only could I help people just small around me, but I could help people all over, whoever needed it, whoever reached out, whoever would trust me, that I knew that I had something that could totally change their life, but do it from the inside out in a meaningful way. This is not a quick fix. And that's the thing, you guys. A lot of people will look at the meal replacement shake because there's a million of them out there, but they don't look at the ingredients. They don't look at the other things and all that we have to offer. This is like a community. That's why I wanted 4 people on here, because there's different stories, but also we come together. When you give somebody a community of support, you don't know how many people are out there and they don't have that positive support piece that they need. They don't believe in themselves even sometimes. And just somebody saying, you know what, you can do this, and being there and putting themselves aside and just saying, you know what, you've got this. I trust in you. I know you can do this. Giving them that hope and then standing there and saying, and I'm going to do it with you, is a powerful thing. It's an amazing, amazing thing. So I could talk forever about that and chase squirrels and everything else. But you know what? I know there's probably a lot of questions because you are here for, because you're wondering what is coaching and, maybe is it going to be a good fit for you, whatever. And so, I want to ask Alyssa, first of all, I'll go back to you. When I asked you to do this coaching thing with me, I know we were already working together at the gym, but when I asked you to do the coaching thing, what kind of fears did you have?
Oh my goodness. Well, I had quite a few of them, but one that really stuck out to me was the cost. Like, I've heard of so many different at-home businesses that you can run that you had to put up $500, $1,000 dollars to start. And then you'd be lucky to even make that back. I mean, my mom was a part of some of those things, and it was scary. I didn't want that. I didn't have the money to put $500 into something. And 2, to not even know if I'm going to make that money back, why would I do that? And so that made me really nervous. But then I found out, it's $40. That's it, $40 to sign up as a coach. And I was like, okay, yeah, why not? And I started, that's like Lindsay said, there's no overhead cost there. I started a fitness studio. Okay. I spent, let's see here, 12 times that with one check writing out for rent. So that was just rent for 1 month. So, I mean, it's just insane. $40. You can have your own business. You can start making money. You can just pay for your Shakeology, save up money for vacation, $40 to sign up. That's insane. And I didn't even have to pay my $40 because I already knew, I wanted to try Insanity. I was seeing these infomercials. I was seeing all these awesome results. And, I was a fitness instructor, but like Lisa, I had that weight that just wouldn't come off. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I was like, I need to give Insanity a shot. So, and I heard her talking about Shakeology. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do a challenge pack. Let me try Shakeology for a month. If I don't like it, I can send it back, get my refund, but I want Insanity. So I signed up with a challenge pack and my coach fee was waived. So I started my business for $0, nothing. And that was just amazing to me. And yes, there is monthly, there's $16 a month, but that's nothing. $16, you probably buy coffee for 1 week and it costs $15, right? So $15, and you don't have to have any inventory. You don't have to keep stuff on hand. Beachbody sends it all out for you. They keep your website up and running. Someone goes to your website, they order. Beachbody does all the legwork for you. It's not like you have to order it, get it sent to you, and then deliver it to someone. Like, all of that is taken care of. So like that, right away when I found out that my coach fee was waived when I signed up, it was like, okay, I'm game. Let's do this. And if you're military too, the monthly fee is waived. So you're not losing anything there. But
Yeah, not even a $16 fee. That's what got me, because I was like, dude, I get a discount and I don't pay any fees. There's no requirement to sell, same thing. So what about, okay, I'm thinking, first of all, Lindsay, you're such an awesome example of kind of how this works when you touch someone else's life and they naturally want to kind of pay it forward and give back. But with you, were there any fears that you had? Because I know that Alyssa and I both were into health and fitness, just so happen to be, but most coaches aren't. As a matter of fact, that is not what this company founded coaches for. None of the founding coaches were really fitness professionals at all. They were just people that they asked to help others, and they were willing. They said yes. So what about fears for you?
Yeah, absolutely. A huge fear, one was the network marketing business. I didn't know about it. I had never done anything like that. I had been approached by a bunch of people for different things, and I always thought, no, that's not me. That's not how I want to work, And I didn't want to be pushed to sell to my friends and family. I didn't want to be told, turn around, you have a sales quota, and you have to hit it by bring in everybody that you know. And so really for the first month or so, I didn't talk about it other than I posted my before and after on Facebook, and that's where my girlfriends got in. And when I started seeing the results that they were getting, and then I had a couple say I kind of want to do what you're doing. This is fun. Running these challenges are fun. I then realized it had nothing to do with network marketing. That's how Beachbody set up their compensation plan, which is very fair. And I just think that they're such a generous company. I really do. But two things with that. One, it's not up to me to decide if somebody would like to participate or not. It's not up to me to decide if they think it's weird. It's up to them. And all I can do is share what I'm doing and what is working for me and my team and let them go. But it's not fair for me to hold someone else's future captive in my mouth. It's just not. And then another thing that kind of hit me was we were at a dinner with my husband's company, and they had some friends, and one of the friends was really rude, and Sean didn't say anything because it was his boss's friend. And I thought, you know what? That is so much worse than any network marketing, because there's levels everywhere. Every job that you'll ever have, there's levels. And I just happen to run my own business, and I can say whatever I want to anybody. And then the sales part, I don't ever feel like I'm selling anything. Even though there's a money exchange involved, I know these products work. I know that our challenge groups provide the support and accountability that people need. We need it. We're busy, and we especially as women, our needs go on the back burner real quick. And so I never feel, it's not up to me to decide if someone she's fit, she probably doesn't want that. I'm not going to reach out. That's not fair to her, because what if she does? What if she does want it? What if she just wants to hop online and chat with other women for 10 minutes a day? So those are two things that I was super concerned about in the beginning that are actually two probably of my favorite components of this business. I love the way that we're set up, and it really is like a big group hug. The better that you do, the better that I do. The better I do, the better you do. And I love that. It really creates this accountability, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And you know what the thing is you guys, that's one of the things I love. When I get a new coach, I don't set a standard for them. I don't ever, when Alyssa signed up, you heard her say it took her a long time. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, girl. Trust me, call me out. But I don't remember ever trying to push you outside of what you wanted to do. I mean, I remember saying, you can do this and supporting you. But I remember always asking you guys, well, what are your goals? What are your, you know, because if you come in here and you want to be a discount coach like I did, I told my coach, don't push me. That's not what I want to do. I had to go through my own journey. There's, you know, there's people, and that's the beauty of what we do, you guys. There's people who come in here and they really want to just genuinely get more support for themselves. And then they realize, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Why would I not want to do this for the rest of my life? When I can do, I know you can take as low as $40 to get into this business, but don't treat it like a $40 business. If you run it like a $40 business, it's going to be a $40 business. But if you run it like a multi-million, you know, dollar business and investment, like your house was on it, and like you are fighting for your goals, your dreams, whatever that is, then your return is going to match just that. And that's what I love about this business, because the amount of effort that you put into it, and not even just the effort, you guys, it's the amount of heart. When you, as soon as I put all of my, well, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do at-home programs, and I don't want to do that, and my, you know, like Alyssa said, my why slapped me in the face, and I started breaking down these barriers and these walls that I had built up for so many years and didn't even recognize it. But I started really, you know, growing as a person because of the fact that I was surrounded with positive people in my life daily. And that was what I called my job. It just slapped me in the face, like, why would you not do this for real, and give it your all? If you can look at the end of the day and at the end of my life and say, I gave my all to my job, but my job was to give my all to others so that they can be their best, then that's amazing to me. It's amazing to me, and the turnaround is incredible. So I want to ask, you know, if there are any questions, I know that there is a chat right here at the bottom. You can click on it and type up your questions. We would love to answer any questions that you guys have, because I know that whenever a business like this is brought up, that there's always questions and fears and concerns that you may have, you know, when you're considering possibly getting started. Okay, so right here. What's up, girlie?
Oh no, I just said like right here, like just for your chat.
Oh, that's you.
So there is one thing that I wanted to touch base on too. You might be thinking like, I have no idea what I would be doing here. Okay, I don't know how to run my own business. I don't know how to be a coach, or maybe I'm not anywhere near where I want to be goal-wise. You know what? A year ago, I was where I wanted to be fitness-wise. Right now, no. But you know what? It's a lifelong journey. And you taking someone's hand and saying, we are going to do this together, is what they need. They don't need someone that's a fitness robot and knows everything. And, you know, they don't want someone talking down to them and saying, you need to do it this way. They want someone that knows their struggles, that can walk with them, that can help them get over those obstacles and do it together. And then going on to the not knowing how to even do this, how to coach someone, how to run your own business. This team has grown so much in the last 2 years. We have an amazing training system. You come in and day one, you're ready to go. We put you into this training system. We help you. And we go at your pace. It's not like we're forcing you into this, into these trainings, into anything. It's all at your pace. So if you decide, hey, I just want to do this for more help, like for just to help myself, for the discount, you know, I want to learn a little bit, but I just want to walk. You know, I just want to do this for me. Awesome. That's great. That is what we are here for. We are here to help you reach your goals. And we have the training in place. If you want to make this a 6-figure business, if you want to quit your job, we have the training in place to help you do that. But if you just want to walk and help yourself for right now, we're all for that. We are right next to you walking, and that is what we will do.
Absolutely. Amanda, do you have anything else you want to add? I don't see any questions yet.
No, that's actually, Alyssa just touched it. I was thinking about that. That was probably like my first fear whenever I signing up, was the fear of like failure and rejection. How much, you know, that like people saying no to you, and people saying that, you know, or that feeling you get when people say no. and everything. And I think that's what probably the biggest thing, but I know that we have everything here set for you. That sorry, my daughter is like talking to me in the corner here. Use permission to go to the bathroom. Yeah, but that we have a lot of tools to help you with inviting and the personal development to get over the fear of rejection, and to, that you want to go for no, because it will actually help you. And the people, when they say no to you, it's not no, it's not right now. They're not in their place in their journey that they are ready for it. So that you don't take personal. But yeah,
I mean, you said no to me how many times? And now look at you. You're one of my diamonds.
I remember like thinking too the same way, I guess, like you did, about like, oh, I don't need shakes. I don't know, but it's a gimmick, like I don't need that kind of thing. But it's different, like you said. There's nothing like Shakeology out there. But
no, there isn't. Well, you know what, you guys, I want to thank you guys for just listening in and just hearing our hearts. Our team really is like a family to us. So we want to answer your questions. If one of us are your coaches, or your coach, whoever they are that invited you here, they're on Team Wildfire, please message them if you have any questions after this call, and maybe they're not coming to your mind right now. But I will say this, that this opportunity is incredible, and there's absolutely nothing to lose. If your fear is the cost of, like Alyssa ordered her challenge pack, I actually ordered a challenge pack too, so I didn't have to pay the sign-up fee. And I'm military, so I didn't have to pay the coach like the monthly fee, so that I don't have to stock anything, and so that I don't have to pay, to deal with my website. They take care of that. It's literally the cost of your health and your fitness, and a meal a day that you couldn't even eat all of that nutrition if you tried in an entire day. So there, in my opinion, and from what I have experienced, I mean, I used to be anemic, and to be honest with you, a year and a half in, I went and got all my blood work checked, because I wanted to know. I knew I felt amazing, but I wanted to see it on paper. What was it doing inside of me that I couldn't see? And all of my blood work, all of my vitamin levels for the first time were perfect. And that doctor, when he looked at me and said, you couldn't be any healthier, I already knew, but that was validation that I knew I could always sleep at night recommending this, and that it was doing something incredible for me. So you have zero to lose, so don't let your fears hold you back, because as soon as you push your fears aside and you go for something that is going to move you in the right direction, it's only going to benefit you and your family and the ones that you love and people that you meet, then why not? And if you've ever sat back, if you're on this call, you've probably thought about, whatever coach invited you, and you've looked at them and you've probably thought, wow, that looks fun, or man, if she can do it, maybe I can. Whatever your reasoning was, why not? Why not you? So if this feels like the right fit for you, then awesome, go for it. I would highly encourage you to go for it. If it doesn't feel like the right fit for you, that is perfectly okay too. Not everybody is going to be meant to be a coach, and we totally get that. But know that if you really want to do it, don't let any of the fears hold you back, because we've all had things that we've overcome and that have gotten us to this point, but we're stronger for it, and you will be too. So you guys have an incredible night, and I hope to see some of you guys popping up on our team soon, and so that we can get to know you guys. All right. Bye, ladies.